Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is July 8th, 2019, 9 o'clock a.m. in California. And today we are going to do a JavaScript live coding session. Trunchet tiles. Let me show you what that is. So let's go to my Emacs, my math blog. So let me put this here so you can see. And let's move here. Trunchet tiles. So let's go to here and let's just search for. I've been wanting to do this since few months ago. So let me show you what is a trunchet tile. Trunchet tile is this. Basically, it's a decorative pattern. It's actually a technique to create a decorative pattern. It's called truchet tiles. You can find it on Wikipedia. So it's a technique to generate interesting patterns. What you do is you create a square and you mark the edges of the square. You connect them by circles or arc of a circle or other patterns. Then you have a bunch of these squares in different orientation. Then you have the final result is this interesting pattern. So trunchet tiles. So what we are going to do is this is a GIF animation from somewhere online, and what we are going to do is to use JavaScript to create this today. So you're gonna hopefully you're gonna learn some JavaScript coding in JavaScript. Now let's pop this out. This will take like 30 minutes. Hopefully we can do it in 30 minutes, but probably 40 minutes or more. I hope not. So trunchet tiles. So let's begin, shall we? Let's see how we want to do this trunchet tiles. So let's go to math blog. Okay, so this is my math blog, and I'm just creating a new file here. Let's say trunchet tiles. Okay, and I'm using Emacs, and I'm using Svg keys. So start command log mod. So I'm going to turn on command log mod so you can see all my Emacs commands I call. I'm using Svg keys. So trunchet tiles, let's do a new page. Okay, that basically just generates a link and it creates a new page. So we can see here the source code. Okay, trunchet tiles. Now let's when people watching, good morning. Say hi here. Trunchet tiles. So we're gonna start to write a JavaScript trunchet tiles. Okay, so first of all, create a new file. Linkify. Open it. It's empty. Okay, and this is the empty file. Let's put a date. Then we start to code. So view this in browser. Actually, let's view this in Chrome, because in Chrome I have JavaScript on. We're gonna do this. So we're gonna code. Let me put some comments here. Leave coding JavaScript trunchet tiles, and trunchet tiles is this. Okay, so let's start coding. So what we want to do, first of all, we need to have a display area. That is, this is the area where the JavaScript is going to insert the graphics. So ID, okay, so we have a ID and show in browser, and this right now it's empty. You can see let's put there. You see T, it's empty, and we go to the top. We add a style. We add a style, so we say this ID style will be let's say border solid thin red. Okay, show in browser. We got a that thing. Okay, so this is the file, and now we gonna do, let's remove this redundant thing here. These are Google Ads and Google Ads stuff, so that the whole file will be clear, simpler. So ads at bottom, and remove that, remove that, remove that, remove that. Show in browser. Yeah, so it's clean. We want to, yeah, so let's start to code JavaScript. And hey, good morning, Rose Coder. You are Jack. Are you the Jack, the Haskell coder, or the no? Which Jack? The Jack in China, or so anyway, so let's start to code the trunchet tile. So how do you do this? We are going to use the SVG technology. Now, if you don't know SVG, let's go to SVG tutorial. Now, if you go to my website, that I just search my name, Xali SVG, then you'll find my SVG tutorial. Now, SVG is a scalable vector graphics, meaning it's that it's not bitmap, it's lines and figures. It's suitable for what we need to do today. You see like stock, charts, pie charts, bar charts, stock charts, all those are done in SVG. You can see them everywhere today, like on GitHub, statistics charts, and so on. SVG is very good for that. So SVG, SVG is based on XML technology. Basically, it's just like HTML. So well, let me show you. Then all you have to do is, for example, let me show you a quickly example. So I create a new file. Paste this content in, save it. Let's say xx.html, just a random name. Okay. Now, so you can see this is the file, or HTML file. All I have is this SVG tag with this line tag. A line says x1 equals to blah blah blah, and we show in this browser. You can see there's a line. So that is what SVG is. It's very it's pretty simple. It's just like HTML. It's pretty simple. So you just add this thing and it creates a line. And if you want a rectangle, for example, let's say I copy that. Let's put the rectangle here and copy that, put inside the SVG tag and show in browser. You see we got a rectangle and a line. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to use JavaScript to generate these SVG string tag, the basically strings, then insert it into our HTML page, so that eventually we're gonna get this trunchet tile. Source coder, it's me, Jack, who is Sichuan. Oh yeah, hi, good morning, Jack. I don't have a phone yet. I was thinking you create the I wanted to create a YouTube, not a video account on the China's video platform, Bilibili, which is extremely popular. So it's in China because China cannot watch YouTube unless they have to do some SVN, basically. So I want to create a video account, start talk show in China in Chinese, for Chinese audience. But I don't have a phone. Like usually, I don't have a cell phone or any phone. Usually these services now they require you to have a phone in order to have an account. So I'm thinking, Jack,你帮我开一个，然后我就用你的。呃，我想先就这样。You see my worry, but my worry is, so Jack is helping me create an account for Bilibili in China. So but my worry is that in China, if my video becomes extremely popular later on, I can make money. So if Jack, it's if it's your account, then it can be some, it have a problem. I have to trust you, but I trust you. So Jack, 呃，我想你帮我弄一个，然后我就用你的。如果你方便的话，我就用你的。然后因为我想我可能会一直录，一直录，一年、2年、3年都一直录，所以以后说不定你忙或其他的有事可能不方便，或者是呃，或者是如果如果我弄得很大的话，可以赚钱的话，这个也不方便，所以但是我相信你，我信任你，所以你可以如果你方便的话，你就帮我弄一个的。我想是这样。但是对我想就是这样，我本来想就是这样，一直想找你，结果很不方便，因为你 YouTube 你 Twitter 上来都要翻墙，很不方便，所以那个 Skype 常常都没遇到你，所以我想我们就这样先弄，因为很多事情你不做就一直拖，一直拖，不弄的话，但是明年还没有，还是没有，还是一样的。哦，我一直想弄，但是没有，所以我想就是现在就这样。如果你愿意帮忙的话，就这样。So let's talk offline something. Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's talk about it. We find a time when you have time. Let's talk on Skype or something. So anyway, that's about my ambition. So I was planning to do a YouTube for a Chinese audience because in China, they have like 1 billion, 2 billion, people. This is it's a huge market. Well, I'm not here to make money, so it's not a market for me. But you do have a lot of Chinese people. They want to learn Emacs. Yeah, they like they can learn Emacs from my Emacs expertise. So anyway, let's go back to the coding of the SVG. Okay, so we don't need this file anymore. So we are coding this. Yeah, great. So we are coding these trunchet tiles in JavaScript. So as we mentioned before, our JavaScript needs to create these SGML, these tags. So yeah, okay, let's begin. I was afraid this is gonna take a long time. It's already 14 minutes. So I hope we can finish in 30 minutes. So okay, so what do you need to do first? So we need to create this. So first of all, we need to create one single square with a arc pattern on the side. So let's just work it out. Workflow is part of the fun. Like you see me. I haven't done this before, so but we can do this in like 40 minutes. I'm pretty sure. So okay, let me I need to get focus on this. So yeah, so we're gonna create trunchet tiles. So what is the plan? So we need to create one square SVG. So we're gonna create one SVG square. So let's write it out. Um, what- create one SVG square. Okay. Then we need to create a arc patterns on the square. Okay, create two arc patterns, create two SVG arcs on the square. Then, okay, here's the plan. So then we generate array of such squares. Okay, then each with random orientation. Okay. Okay, good night, Jack. Yes, good night. So yeah, so generate array of such squares and each with random orientation. That is the plan. So let's create one SVG square. So let's create one SVG square. So what is the syntax for SVG square? So SVG square is like that. There is no primitive for square, but you have rectangle. So basically, we need to generate something like this. Okay, rect something something xy width and height. Width will be 100. Okay, height is 100. Okay, let's say 10. So start at now the x and y are what is the x and y? X, y are the upper left corner of the rectangle. So we want it to be 0, 0. So we're gonna generate this string. So let's create a function, constant arrow function, gen square. Okay, f gen square. Okay, so this is the string we want, and let's just say return that. Okay, and actually we need x and y coordinate. So it will generate at x and y position. Okay, so that is a function to generate a SVG square. Okay, we generate a SVG square, which is this line, but we also need to generate this SVG tag. So how do you generate a SVG tag? The way you do it is by, so you go to my SVG tutorial. At the bottom you'll see scripting SVG. Okay, and here is the code to generate a SVG tag. Yeah, so everything is like, just copy and paste. This is the code to generate a SVG tag. Then let's go back here, anchor. So let's say this is anchor. Okay, so anchor is a position we want to insert the SVG into. So first of all, get element by ID. Okay, document get element by ID. Okay, then we want to do that. So we want to say constant that. Okay, so this gets us this gets us that div tag, which is the position we want to insert the SVG. Okay, then we create a SVG element. Yeah, we create a SVG element. Then we have a function to generate a square. Then we want to append the SVG element into the div tag, right? So how do you do that? So all we can do is that that dot append child, okay, append child, then svg1, okay, that should be it. So now we go back to the file and we refresh. Looks like it's a success. We inspect. Success. We got a svg tag here, you see, in the file. So now let's try to add a square. So svg square, so let's say fgen square, okay, generate square, and let's say at 0 0, okay, my square, okay, let's say constant my square equals to that, okay. Then we again append the child to svg. Okay, so you see we generate a square and we attach the square to the svg tag. So let's see what happens in browser. See if we got a square. No. Let's see what is the problem. Let's expand that. Okay, so it's okay, uncaught type error, failed to execute append child on node. Parameter 1 is not of type node. Oh, that's right, because you see when we have a string rectangle, that's a string that is not element, so you cannot append a string to a child. So what we can do is actually we say svg1 inner HTML equals to my square. So this will actually work. Let's try in browser. You see it works. We got a little square, black square. Okay, so we are using inner HTML, but using inner HTML is not a proper solution. Rather, you should generate a element. That is a better solution. So let's modify this this function f. Let's rename it fsvg square. Okay, that's a function, and then it should, the function will generate a square by calling this. So this line generates a element of the rec element, basically generate this element. Then let's comment that out. Then square set attribute, okay, then set attribute x equals to x, y equals to y, and width and height. Okay, so width equals to 10. Let's put width and height here. So okay, and this function generate return a svg element, svg rect element, top corner at xy, width height of wh. Okay, that's what this function does. So width and height, we need the height here. okay, and okay, then we return, okay, so this function generates a svg square element and return the element. That is right. So now we have the function. We call it here width and height 10. Then we append the child to the svg element. Okay, that seems to be it. Let's refresh. Excellent. You see, we got a rectangle element here. 0, 0, 10, 10. That's success. Okay, next. So, if you guys are watching, post your opinions, questions, anything. Okay, let me know how am I doing. Love to see your comments. So, okay, so far we got a we got a we got the element. We got a square going on. Now you see the square is black. That's not good. And it's first of all it's too small. Let's change it to 100 width and height. Let's say. So there are two things we need to fix. One is that it's black. We don't want it filled. We want just a border. So what we have to do. So let's go back to the SVG. Let's fix that. Let's look at the SVG tutorial. SVG tutorial, you need to control the whether it's filled or not. That is, so you are controlling the style. So you want to say stroke width and fill. So fill should be none. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to say create another attribute style and fill none. Okay, then stroke red. Okay, let's see what is a stroke is a color, right? Let's say stroke red. And the stroke width, so let's add another one, stroke width, stroke width, let's say 2 pixels. Okay, now let's try it again. Excellent, we got this, we are making progress. Okay, so we got a style, and there's another problem because you see, so what is the entire SVG's width and height? We need to put a little control on that so we can so basically you see when you create a SVG, let's go back to SVG tutorial. So SVG basics, when you create a SVG, you see you have a width and height you can specify. If you do not specify, the browser is just gonna automatically, usually 100%, that fill whatever is available and generate some automatic height. That's not what we want. We want a square. We want a nice big square canvas. So let's add a width and height element. So basically here, set attribute. Okay, width, let's say 500. Okay, then height 500. Okay, go back to the browser, refresh. Excellent, that's what we want. So the square is 100 width height, so it looks like right 5 of them fills it. That's right. So right now we are going to have 5 by 5 array. So now next we want to put an arc into the square. Remember, we are doing this truchet tiles. So you need these little quarter arcs in it, so to get these beautiful images. So how do you do that? How do you create an arc? Now, to create an arc in SVG is not easy. It's actually turns out it's actually difficult, but we have a solution here. So let me show this in Chrome so you can see. Let's go to SVG, and you can see there's a chapter on circle arc. So I created this interactive application that lets you interactively change, create the circle arc with the code over here. You can see, you can create all sort of arcs. Or different shapes of ellipse. So if you want an arc, just put the minor axis and major axis to be equal. So for example, let's say 100. 100. So we kind of get a circular arc. So that's how we create an arc. Okay, so yeah, we want an arc, but we only want a quarter of it. So you can do it by, let's see, a quarter of an arc, 295, and rotation. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we are going to put a little arc over here, like right here. Let's see. So the radius of the arc will be, let's say, 45. The width of the square is 100. So the arc will be, let's say, 45. Radius of the arc is 45. So let's see, 41, 44. Something like that. That's what we want. So the code is this. The code to generate this arc is this. But actually, I have a function. This is written in JavaScript. So let's just use that. Copy it. This function, this SVG ellipse arc, will create an arc for you, an arc element. Basically, this element, this path, something, something. So we copy the code. Let's put the code here. Now this is starting to get complex. Let's put the code here, paste. so now we're starting to become complex. So this is the function. This function returns a SVG element of an arc. So let's call this function. So we're gonna call this function over here. Let's see how we gonna do it. Let me show you. So we call the function. The first argument will be xy. That's the center of the arc. So the center will be at 0, 0 over here. So center is 0, 0, and the x and y, rx and ry are the radius of the ellipse. So we want it to be 45. Okay. Then the next parameter is t1 and delta. So what is t1 and delta? T1 is the start angle in radian. So like, where does the arc start to sweep? We want it to be 0. That's right. So let's go back here. Start sweep at 0. and end sweep at 95 degrees. Well, except we need radians, not degrees. So to convert degree to radians, we divide it by 180 and multiply by pi. Okay, so we can use the symbol pi because we defined pi over here. You can see. So start sweep and end sweep. And what is the last parameter? The last parameter is rotation of the hole. Okay, so we don't need any rotation, so it will be 0. So this creates an arc for us. Let's say arc 1. Okay, so that creates an arc for us. Then we need to append the arc to the square. Okay, so right, append child, append the arc to the wait, not to the square, but to the SVG. That's right. So let's try in browser. Refresh. Excellent. It's incorrect, but at least we got something. Now, why is it incorrect? Because it's trying to feel. It tries to feel the style. Feel the inside. We don't want it to feel. So we go back to the SVG style, shape style, and say feel equals to none. So actually we have code already here. So we say arc1 dot set attribute. Okay, set attribute style equals to feel. Okay, so here is the style. We can actually just copy it. So we set arc1, set a style attribute, and feel none, stroke red. Okay, stroke width 2. Okay, let's see how it looks. Refresh. Excellent. We are making progress. So far so good. Okay, one people still watching. Okay, so we got the feel. We got arc1 feel. That's correct. Now we need to put another arc. So let's say arc2. Arc2 will be starting from here, kind of like that. So it begins. So the center will be 100, 100. So the center will be 100, 100. The arc radius will be 45, 45, the same. The sweep will begin at 180 degrees, which is pi. Okay, then the end point will be 2 pi divided by 3. 2 pi divided by 2 pi times 3 over 4. So basically we have a circle. We want to start. We have a giant circle, and here's the center. We want to start from here to here. So it's like from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So 9 o'clock will be pi degree, radian in radians. So 12 o'clock will be wait, where does the degree begin in SVG? I forgot. Let's see how it looks. Now we need to append arc2. Okay, switch back to the browser, refresh. Okay, that's something. So that's incorrect. So the sweep angle is incorrect. So we start here. We want to end at So where is 0? Okay, so we actually don't know. Let's try where is 0. Let's say start at 0. Okay, refresh. I don't know. So let's say 1. Okay, refresh. Okay, so let's say 2. Refresh. Okay, so 0 is like at 3 o'clock. 0 degrees 3 o'clock, and it goes clockwise because in SVG things go clockwise. So 0 is that. So we want to start at over here. So we want to start at 2 pi times 3 over 4. Okay, that's incorrect. We want to start at pi. That's right. So actually, pi. That's correct. Now we want it to end at right. So we want to end at 2 pi times 3 over 4. That's still wrong. So 2 pi times 3 over 4. What is wrong with that? Does anyone know? Okay, 1 people watching. This is discouraging. Okay, so we so let's see. Let's make it. Let's change the style. So oh, sweep. Oh, that's right. It's how much you want to sweep, not the end position. So all we want to sweep is half a pi. That is all. That is right. Excellent, excellent. We got it working, my friends. So that's what we want. Now the next thing we want is we want to let's just continue. Actually we have a lot of things to fix right now because we also need to control the orientation of the whole square. Uh, we could it would be useful if we abstract the whole thing. So we create a function. We create one single function that give us this whole square with arcs, and we can say orientation. Orientation 1 or 0. 1 is like that. 0 will be like this rotated. Where the arcs goes from here and here. So basically two orientations. So we would like to have one function, one single function that creates this whole group of things instead of little functions, right? But let's do that later on, because let's press on. Let's continue to now let's just try to fill the whole canvas with these squares. So okay, so we got one square, we got one arc 1, we got arc 2. Now we want to fill the whole thing with these squares. Actually, how do we do that? Okay, so we need to fill the whole thing with the squares with this pattern. So we need to fill the whole thing with a pattern. So we need to actually it would be simpler if we right now create one function. Yes, it would be nice. It's a good time that we create one single function that generates the whole thing. Let's do that then. Yeah, let's do that. So create a new function, um, arrow function. Uh, let's name it pattern one. Okay, and the function will take arguments x and y, which is the position of the upper left corner of the square here, and it will just generate a whole SVG element. So let me just do it quickly because we are taking a lot of time. Right now I've been talking for 45 minutes, so let me just code it quickly. So okay, so first of all we're gonna create in SVG there's an element called G. This element is a grouping element. It just like a empty container. It's like a div element. So we have this grouping element. Then we generate a square. Let's copy the code here. So we copy here and put in this inner element. So we create a square. XY width height. Width height. Okay. We create a square with width and height. Then we create a arc. Arc arc radius equals to width divided by 2 times 0.9. Okay, so arc radius, that's what we want. Okay, and here will be x and y. The sweep is like that, that's fine. So arc 1 arc 2 will be similar. Okay, except the center will be at you see the second arc center for the second arc should be at the lower right corner of the square. So here it will be x plus w and y plus height. Okay. So hold on a second. Let me indent the whole code so it looks pretty. Okay. There it is. So there is our function. So we create a wrapper. We declare a arc radius. We create a square. We don't want that. We create a square. We create a ellipse, and we want to append child. So gg dot append child square, and append child arc 1 and append child arc 2. And also for arc 1 also we gg the whole thing, we set the attribute style for the whole group gg. Okay, so let's make it pretty. So there we have it. So this function let me create a square pattern with arcs inside. Okay, and so that is the function. So this function will basically give us this whole thing, and we need, let's use another parameter. Wait, let's not. Let's just see if this works. So create a square pattern with arcs inside. Then it needs to return return the thing. Return the thing. So now we, right. So instead of so let's move it here. So we create a square here and then we append it. We don't need those anymore, because we can, let's call pattern. Okay, we call pattern, let's say at 0 0, then the width will be 100. Okay, that creates the SVG element for the whole square pattern. Then we here's what we do. So let me show you. So we comment all these out. We don't need it anymore. So all this code is now replaced by this single code. We create a pattern. Let's see if that works. Okay, refresh. Excellent. This is the excitement of coding success. So we actually, so you see it works. So now we can easily create another one. Let's say another one at 100. Okay, refresh. Excellent. Oh, we're missing the square. Okay, so a bug. Did we? Why are we missing the square? So we don't need those anymore. But why are we missing the square? So if we remove that, let's refresh. Okay, it's trying, the square position is wrong. Oh, yeah, obviously we must have missed something here. Square. Yeah, so this should be x and y. X, y. Excellent. Excellent. You see, we are making progress. So now the next one will be for, let's just try that. Okay, you see, excellent. We got we got almost a prototype. Now the next thing to do is that for the pattern function, we want to be able to say orientation, like either like that or rotated 90 degrees. So let's create a parameter for orientation. Now the orientation will be like either true or false. So let's do this. Okay, so orientation, if orientation, if orientation is true, then let's say that. Okay, else else similar. Okay, so let me, okay, so else the orientation will be wrong, different. So else we So else, let's see, we want to draw a circle from here to here, so that's a quarter. Yeah, so a quarter start from, so it will be start from pi over 2. Okay, then the next circle we want to draw is from here to here, so it will be starting from 3/4 of a circle, 2 pi times 3 over 4. Okay, so oops, what's going on? Okay, let me okay, so here is, I believe that's correct. Okay, error. Pattern 1, arc 1 is not defined. Okay, so arc 1 is not defined. If orientation, why is arc 1 not defined? Uncaught reference error. Arc 1 is not defined at line 75. Line 75, arc 1 is not defined. Let's make sure our parameters are all correct. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I think there's a easier way. So let's copy that. So let's just do that. There is a easier way. If expression, okay. If orientation, then 0, then 90 degrees, pi over 2, else 0. Okay, so let's put that there. Okay, that's, I think that's what it will work. Oh yeah, it's not defined because we forgot to give parameters here. So stupid. So we need a parameter here. So let's say true, true, false, true. Okay, let's just try that. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Okay, the arcs are still wrong. Okay, yeah, the rotation is wrong. That's right. So the arcs are wrong. Let me so that people can see. Hey, so we got new people here. So great, thank you guys for coming. You need to set constant arc1 outside the if statement, then define it. Yeah, yeah. Well, it turns out that's a common error, but that's not in this case. No. So yeah. So declare arc1. Yeah. To try catch block by capturing any error. Yeah. Try catch is nice to do, but we can like skip it right now. So I mean, looks like our code is actually working. So this code is working, except yeah, this code should work. Let's try it again. Ah, arc1 is not defined. It should work, right? I mean, there's no reason you need to there's no reason to move the arc variable outside. But anyway, let's try just get this, let's try to finish this because this is already taking a long time. So let's just fix whatever. Let me do it this way so it's easier to see. So orientation, so let's change the orientation to rotate. So it means just rotate it or not. So if rotate is true, then we rotate because this function svg Lisp arc has a parameter at the end, this phi. This phi says rotation of the whole. Oh, I see. That's incorrect because, well, it's incorrect because we cannot use that because, because, no, because it's trying to rotate with respect to center, not with respect to the corner of a square, which is our case. So we cannot use that. But anyway, what is wrong here? Let's refresh. So reference error arc1 is not defined, line 80. Arc1 is not defined. It's fucking defined here, man. Okay, let's try to move it out. Let's say variable. Okay, let arc1 arc2. Okay, let's maybe that is the problem. Okay, refresh. Oh, that is the problem. Why is that happening? Because the scope of, or maybe if you have constant, the scope is inside f. I don't think that's the case, but anyway, let's forget that. So now it doesn't look good. This is incorrect. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong with our the angle, the angle of the rotation. So let's just do the true case. Let's see what happens if they. Okay, so the problem lies in this part when it's false. So when it's false, what we want is let's see, true, false. Let's see what happens when it is false. Okay, so yeah, it's trying to. What the heck? Let's just draw one. Oh, okay, so here we see the problem. Okay, so first of all, this will be the center. Oh yeah, the center of the circle is wrong. You see, we are still drawing at this upper left and the lower right corner. It should be upper right and lower left. So the center will be, first of all, over here, so x plus width. Okay, so center will be x plus width y. Okay, then the next one will be x plus height. and y plus height. I think. Let's hope that is the case. Let's run it. Okay, now the next one, the okay, so the second one is wrong. Great, fantastic. Now let's let's do some of these correct. Now let's do that. Excellent. Now we have like one final step. We just fill the whole thing with these patterns with a random true or false at the bottom at the end. So we're gonna create a. So how do we do that? Yeah, the declaration inside if should be fine, but for some reason it's not working. But let's skip over that because it's gonna take more time to figure out. Then, let's just try to get this finished. So now we need to map all these, to different positions. You see, the only thing that changes is the center. You see, you can see here. You see, everything parameter is the same, almost the same, except the center and whether the orientation change true or false. So we need the easiest way to do is to do a nested for loop. Yeah, the easiest way is to do a nested for loop. More advanced is to generate a nested array like a matrix, then map to the whole matrix. Actually, that's the right thing to do, but let's just use nested for loop. Okay, let's get this finished. So for I equals to 0 to I equals to I less than 500. Each time we want to increment I by I equals to I plus 100. Okay, we increment by 100. So we have that yeah, that looks like that's the. Okay, let's try it. Refresh. Okay, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Then we need another for loop inside. Okay, so let's do that inside here. For loop inside. So this will be j. Again, j goes to 1 to 500, increment of 100. So what should be inside the b? ij, or is it jj? Wait. So I think the declaration. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Ij. Okay, let's see. Fantastic. we By luck, this is trial and error. The success, the power of trial and error. I didn't, we haven't logically thought what it should be, but let's just run it, and it worked. So now all we have to do is to generate a random true or false. That is very easy. So we can do if expression. Okay, then we want a random number, math random. Now in JavaScript, I believe the math random returns from 0 to 1, I think. We can, I have a tutorial. Let's look up my tutorial. Math random. Where is it? Methods, ceiling, power, exponential, trick. What? Okay, random there. So value properties, methods, random. So return a real number from 0 to 1. That's right. So random returns from 0 to 1. So if this is greater than 0.5, then we return true, otherwise return false. So actually this is all we need. Okay, so that, I think that's it. Let's try it. Excellent. Wait, something is wrong. You see, those curves are not connected. Why is that? Yeah, okay, so yeah, so that's right. So the radius of the circle should be 50, not 45. So let's just change 45 to 50. Wait, the radius of the circle should be radius. Okay, so the radius should be half of the square length. Okay, excellent. so I think that's it for, I mean, that's it for today, basically. Yeah, so let's try again. Like each time we refresh, we get a different pattern. This is fantastic. So we did it, in, oh, it's over an hour. So okay, so now the next thing we can do, or is to clean up our code. There are, usually after you have a prototype, you can, because we did this quickly, try just to do a prototype, then we can clean up the code. For example, comment, we don't need those anymore. And this double for loop, we can change it to a, like a array, map into an array. Maybe that's more clean. Things like that, but basically, on the whole, we, this is what we want. But there are more features to add. For example, you look at this one, they have this automatic, randomization. It's nice to see. So we could add a feature where when user clicks on this thing, it rotates it. So that would be a nice thing to add. So we will have to add an event handler. Yeah, so when on click, then we basically delete that element and regenerate a new SVG element, the whole pattern with it rotated. So yeah, that's a feature to add. Then there's also little things we can remove. The if you remove the square grid, the pattern will look different. Let's try that. Let's try some of the fun things. So for the square, let's see, where is the function? Okay, here is the function, and let's remove the square. SVG square, actually, yeah, so here basically we remove this element, this thing. Refresh, you see, that's great. And also, let's decrease the width of the square, so we got lots of it. So let's do that. Let's decrease the width of the square. So okay, so the square width will be 10 10. Okay, and this will be increment of 10. Let's hope that works. Oops, something wrong. Oh, it works. Fantastic. Okay, that's too small. Let's say 20. Uh, okay. Excellent. Somehow it's slow. You see, this is not proper. It's slower than I expected. No, it's not. So we need to figure out which part is actually slow. It shouldn't be that slow. But anyway, we got what we want. So that's it for that. Good morning, Massey. What's your Towiz? That's a Polish name. So actually we are done. So you guys have any questions, any comments, questions, opinions? Just post it, okay? And and we are done for today. We did this, and so that is great. That's a demonstration of JavaScript coding and JavaScript and SVG. Now let me put a plug. So if you like my things, go to search for Xali JavaScript tutorial. Just search Xali JavaScript. Okay, then you can find buy Xali JavaScript tutorial. You can buy it. Okay, if you like my stuff, you can buy it here. But basically, here is my. It's all you need. Concise. And accurate example-based tutorials. So that's it for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.